tonight, our Pontiac prime-time pick. Is it going to be Kansas or Texas A&M?
It has to be Kansas. You cannot lose in this atmosphere. It's absolutely unbelievable. Brandon Rush has been huge, 20 points a game in his last 3.
Yeah, it's got to be Kansas for one reason. They're here, and this place is on fire. 2 years ago, we're here. They blew out Texas. I think A&M's in trouble tonight. Why? The transition, the depth, the pressure defense. They want to go up-tempo and get it done.
I'll tell you what, they can't just rely on this crowd. They got to come ready for a fight. This is going to be a really physical basketball game, and whoever controls the paint and controls the backboard is going to win. I give the edge to Kansas, but their big guys have to come ready for a fight.
Gillespie has built this team on toughness, and as we often say, led by you, Coach Billis, toughness is not bowling up. It's making the right play under pressure, right?
No question.
We'll see if Texas A&M can do that tonight. This crowd is into it. They're unified. They're choreographed beautifully. And now, if their team can answer the challenge of the upstart Aggies from College Station, couple of teams in the top 10, the Big 12 lead at stake. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale have the call. Dan, we're ready to go, baby.
And Reese, they're ready to go here as well. These fans among the most passionate in all of America, and they've got a reason to cheer again this season. Their young Jayhawks are ranked 6th in the nation and led by a trio of sophomores, Brandon Rush, Mario Chalmers, and Julian Wright. Texas A&M's Billy Gillespie has put his program back on the map. He faces his former boss and his best buddy tonight in Bill Self. The Aggies arguably the best defensive team in the nation. The stars are out tonight here at the Fog for this top 10 battle. The Aggies and Jayhawks are next. They got their first lead of the night. They've been talking about this one for a while here in Lawrence. The students have been lining up for days to get the best seats as we welcome you to Saturday Primetime, presented by DirecTV. Historic Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Texas A&M and Kansas, number 8 against number 6. And with Kansas State winning down in Austin tonight, this game is for sole possession of first place in the Big 12. Hi, everybody. Dan Shulman, Richard J. Vitale here. Listen to the noise here at this place. It does not get any better than this in college basketball. And for fans of Texas A&M, it doesn't get any better than what Billy Gillespie's done the last couple of years.
I'll tell you, Dan, he's a rising star in coaching. It's amazing what he's done down there in College Station. Think about this. When he wins his 20th game this year, it'll be the first time ever in the school. 3 consecutive 20-game seasons. Think about getting an NCAA berth this year. First time. 2 consecutive years to the NCAA. They do a great defense. They right now lead the nation in field goal percentage defensively, 34.6%. And they do a great job of shooting the 3, and their field goal percentage is better than 50%. And tonight, he goes against his mentor, his protege, Mr. Self. Should be a great matchup.
2 outstanding teams here tonight, and a lot of stars on this team as we check out the Star Watch presented by State Farm. AC Law, one of the best point guards in the country, Mr. Clutch the last couple of years for the Aggies, and Brandon Rush, a superstar in the making, the leading scorer for the Jayhawks this season at a better than 14 points per game. Let's check out the starting lineups, and we begin with the visitors from College Station. Dominique Kirk, an outstanding defender. Josh Carter, 51% from beyond the arc on the season. Up front, they're as big and as tough as any team in the Big 12. Joseph Jones and Antanas Kavalauskas are a load on the interior. In the backcourt, along with Rush, it's Mario Chalmers and Russell Robinson. A lot of versatility in ball handling for the Jayhawks. Julian Wright and Sasha Khan are up front for Kansas. As we mentioned, as Dick mentioned, Bill Self, Billy Gillespie, the best of buddies. Let's get more now from Aaron Andrews. Aaron?
Dan, tonight's game has a similar storyline to tomorrow's Super Bowl Sunday matchup. Of course, Tony Dungy, Lovie Smith, 2 best friends trying to coach their teams to Super Bowl wins. And then you've got Billy Gillespie and Bill Self trying to coach their teams tonight as best friends to sole possession of the Big 12. They have been the best of friends. As you see, they're almost brothers for the past 11 years. They talk every day on the phone. They're very, very competitive. They both admitted to me they don't like playing against each other, but once the ball is tipped, they forget about their friendship for a good 2 hours.
I'll tell you one thing. How's this for a stat? Kansas has not lost at home against the Southern Division.
Right.
They are 31-7.
The opening tip controlled by the Aggies. What an outstanding atmosphere and environment for this game. It's a sellout as always. Texas A&M and Kansas in a top 10 battle here in Lawrence.
Hey, Dan, one key word for tonight's matchup. A key in the game. Tempo, tempo, tempo. If the game goes up and down the floor, edge Kansas, it goes 5-on-5. They have a great shot, A&M, to win here on this floor.
Dominique Kirk misses the three, and it's out of bounds to the Jayhawks. The year before Billy Gillespie got to College Station, the Aggies were 0-16 in the league, 7-21 overall. Year one, 21 wins and NIT bid. Year two, last year, 22 wins, beat Syracuse in the first round of the tournament, lost on a heartbreaking shot to LSU, and things are still on the rise now in year three.
Yeah, Mitchell hit a big three to beat them.
Turnover Kansas.
I tell you, they brought really a sense of toughness, Billy Gillespie, to the program. Here's a guy that's been so much part of Texas basketball. His name, Billy Clyde Gillespie. They know him around the Texas Scholastic ranks as Billy Clyde.
Mr. Texas is from tiny Grayford, Texas, went to college at Texas State, an assistant coach at the high school, junior college level in the state of Texas. The Aggies throw it away. Chalmers on the run.
And that's what you cannot do against Kansas. You can't turn the ball over. They convert so quickly from the defensive end to the offensive side.
Kansas virtually unbeatable here at the Fog. A&M looking for a big road win. And from the corner, there's Josh Carter, the man we told you about, leading the conference fourth in the country in three-point shooting.
Well, as a team, they shoot better than 40%. And that three-point shot, we know how vital it is to the game on a collegiate level.
We've talked and will talk so much about the Aggies' outstanding defense. They're a pretty good offensive team as well. Very efficient, and they got a lot of good numbers to back it up.
You know, they're second in scoring defense in America, but it's not because they just hold the basketball.
There's a steal by Kirk, considered their best defender. Kavalauskas running the floor well, missed the layup.
Kavalauskas has really improved, though, as a post player. Kirk is one of those guys like Levon Kendall. He's the glue guy.
Wright takes a bump. No call. Can't finish. Kahn the offensive rebound, and he's fouled.
Kahn had a big game against Oklahoma State, and then he got the Zippo against Nebraska. 0-0-0.
And that's what Bill Self told us before the game. He said, our ceiling is very high, but he's looking for consistency. They've had a great year, but they lost at home to Oral Roberts. They lost on the road at DePaul. If they play their best, they're as good as anybody in the country.
Well, you and I saw, we sat at courtside down in Vegas when they had that matchup against Florida, the Gators, and beat them in overtime. In fact, in that game, Arthur and Wright had 40 points and 19 rebounds and dominated the front court of when we looked at Florida with that great front court with Noah and Horford and company.
The foul on Joseph Jones. Early substitution for the Aggies as Donald Sloan, a freshman from Dallas, replaces Carter on the wing. A&M's best wins this year at home over Kansas State, Oklahoma State. Julian Wright way off with that turnaround.
Julian Wright went through a little bit of a schneid. He bounced back in his last game. He and Arthur both. Shot selection, really another part of Texas A&M and Billy Gillespie basketball.
Here's the high-low with the big guys. Kavalauskas and Jones really share the ball well, but that time Jones spent too long in the lane.
He's so physical. He's their leader, their inspiration guy. Billy Gillespie told me in a conversation, he said, you know what? I got my chance because Doc Sadler recommended me to Bill Self. I didn't know Bill Self. He was looking for a guy who knew the state of Texas. I was recommended, got the opportunity, and then he went on to Illinois with him as well.
And although he's got kind of an aw-shucks demeanor and he won't talk about it, he's taken on like a rock star persona. He's become a rock star down in College Station. We'll find out all about that on Monday when we're down there as they take on Kevin Durant in Texas. Chalmers banks it in. Kansas leads.
Chalmers really an explosive scorer. Has really stepped up offensively. They got a nice backcourt when you look at Chalmers and Robinson.
Yeah. And both teams here very balanced. Neither team relying too heavily on just one player for its offense.
There's a double up on a post.
Jones gets rid of it to Kirk in time.
Great ball movement. Notice how they reverse the basketball, swing it side by side, always looking to have good spacing as well.
Chalmers called for the foul.
Mario Chalmers comes the route of Alaska. His dad on the coaching staff. There's the screen up on top. He uses the screen really well. Actually gets 2 screens. Takes advantage of both.
Part of that outstanding sophomore class. Rush, the leading scorer. Chalmers second in the Big 12 in steals. And Julian Wright, we have seen him, as you mentioned, in the game against Florida. He can take over the game. He could be the best player on the floor if he's having a good night.
That's a tough shot right there. AC Law took a tough one. He's so much better in the last 5 minutes of the game. Yep. He dominates. If you look at his stats, I read an article, they really posted all his numbers. In the last 5 minutes, Dan, he's been incredible.
Yep. Hit a huge shot to beat Texas in a game last year. Was dominant down the stretch in the first round of win over Syracuse in the NCAA tournament last year. Captain Clutch, one of his nicknames.
And you know, when they beat Syracuse, Syracuse just came off winning the Big East tournament. They were really hot. Offensive foul, yep. On a charge. Jayhawk faithful don't like it.
Sasha Khan missed the first several weeks of the season with a knee injury. Now that he's back, he gives them 4 able-bodied big guys, and we're going to see one of them coming in right now. Khan will come out, and Darrell Arthur, the extremely talented freshman out of Dallas, checks in.
I was telling Bill, what's happened with his program, expectations are so high. Yeah. It's like a North Carolina, a Duke, a Kentucky, a Kansas. Whenever they lose a game, it becomes a major, major story. It's like Shock City that they're not supposed to lose a basketball game.
19-3, 6th in the country, and people are saying they haven't played all that well. Chalmers, rush ahead of the pack, misses the layup.
Should have jumped it, lost control of the ball.
Wright had it knocked away, and the Aggies have the ball.
That's the kind of tempo they want, Kansas. They want to go up and down the floor. Yep. They want the Indianapolis Raceway.
A&M arguably more physical. They want more of a half-court game. They're really going to get in your grill. Robinson knocks it away.
Here goes Jam City. Up and away. Oh, he's got great elevation. And they begin to chant the Rock Chalk Jayhawk. What an environment. How special is the foul?
As good as it gets. Davis into the game for the Aggies. The feed to Kavalauskas for the layup.
What a terrific high-low entry. That's why they shoot better than 50% shot selection.
One of the staples of a Bill self-coach team, and Billy Gillespie picked it up working on self-staff. Both of these teams use the high-low very effectively.
Notice how they back it out. They want to get them in a 5-on-5. A lot of teams play the first pass really well. They double up.
Kirk the extra pass. Law the 12-footer, and the Aggies go on top.
Great job of reversing the basketball, swinging it away from the double team, bringing it to the offside. Terrific job. I mean, they really execute offensively. He's a rising star, coach.
No question.
There's any doubt about it.
Julian Wright misses the jumper. Good work by Darrell Arthur on the offensive glass.
Nice pump fake.
Chalmers lays it in.
What a terrific offensive play right there. That was what you call a clinic. He faced, he got a triple threat position, which means he can pass, he can shoot, or he can try.
How much fun is this, Dick?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. What a week we have. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Monday night, College Station, Texas, Kevin Durant. Wednesday, Duke in North Carolina. Saturday, Kentucky and Florida, and get paid.
Double team on Kavalauskas. Law, nice pass inside. Davis.
What execution. I am so impressed with their ball movement. The way they swing the ball from one side to the other.
AC Law has to be considered among the best point guards in America. 9-8 lead early for Texas A&M. The coaches, the best of buddies, as we told you. When we come back, we'll hear each of the coaches speak about the other. It's off to a fun start here tonight at the Fawn.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by DirecTV. There's good TV, there's better TV, and then there's DirecTV.
Statue outside of the man for whom this building is named, legendary Kansas coach Phog Allen. Now the current coach, Bill Self of Kansas, and Billy Gillespie of Texas A&M, not only rivals tonight, but the best of friends year in and year out. Here are their thoughts about the other.
Well, I think every coach would say that they'd rather not have to play against somebody that they're, personally connected to.
He has a responsibility to his players and his university and his community, as do I.
He's one of the few people out there that can be as demanding as anybody.
Everyone knows if you're around Bill Self how he feels about you. He loves you. He's going to try to correct you. He's going to try to push everyone.
We've been like brothers. He and Norm Roberts and myself, we couldn't have had more fun.
We've had a lot of fun together, and we continue to have a lot of fun together when we get the opportunity.
That's a friendship that we have that'll never be broken.
On the staff together with Tulsa and Illinois, Gillespie, an assistant to the head coach, Bill Self. For more, let's go back to Aaron Andrews.
And Dan, Billy Gillespie learned how to run a program because of Bill Self, and he uses those lessons. One of the biggest ones, he says, was boot camp. Now that's 2 weeks before the season conditioning starts. It's basically total hell is what I was told. And that teaches this team not only how to play together, but be conditioned with each other as well.
Well, the only thing these two friends have not done, Nick, is they didn't have dinner together last night. They did not see each other since A&M got to town until the handshake just before the game tonight. So for 24 hours at least, they kind of put the friendship on hold. Ball's going to stay at this end of the floor.
They speak to each other at least 5 times a week. Norm Roberts, who we mentioned now at St. John's, was part of the coaching staff in Illinois. Billy Gillespie was the point guy involved in the recruitment of Darren Williams, the super point guard, now playing in the NBA with Utah. Yep, D. Brown was out of Illinois.
Warren Carter, who's still at Illinois, an outstanding player there, is the older brother of the Aggies, Josh Carter. And a lot of this old news for the folks down at College Station, but they know that a lot of America still does not know a whole lot about this Texas A&M program and a whole lot about Billy Gillespie. As you see, he and Norm Roberts on Bill Self's staff. They were together at Tulsa and then again at Illinois. And boy, Bill Self's had success everywhere he's gone. Billy Gillespie did an outstanding job for a couple of years at UTEP before moving to the Aggies. And Norm Roberts trying to get St. John's back to where that program once was.
Well, don't forget that Bill Self is 91-27 at Kansas. That's better than 75%.
Yep. Kahn, his second foul. He has gone back to the bench. Arthur and Jackson in the front court right now for the Jayhawks. And through the fingertips, Chalmers could not connect with Arthur as the Jayhawks turn it over for the 5th time.
Nice penetration, dumped in inside, always making the extra pass. That's what I like about them. They're always looking in an unselfish manner to get the high percentage shot. Good teams do that. If you defend well and get the high percentage shot, you got a chance to win.
They're shooting over 50% as a team, one of the best marks in all of America. They're not going to score 80 points a game, but they are incredibly efficient. Law gets the timeout called. He wasn't falling out of bounds. That's okay. And he gets the timeout called in the nick of time.
They haven't allowed 70 points against anyone this year.
3-point lead for the Aggies here in the early going.
Air freshener, $1.29 on debit MasterCard. Tube sock, $4. Paperclip, ballpoint pen, rubber band, tweezers, nasal spray, and a turkey baster, $14. The little things that get you through the day, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everyday stuff, there's debit MasterCard.
Back at the Fog, A&M has never defeated Kansas. 0-11 all time. An 11-8 lead for the Aggies here early. Let's talk about the Big 12. Kansas State winning at Texas. They're 6-2 in the league right now.
Well, they got 7 in a row that they've won. They've adopted the Bob Huggins philosophy of toughness, and that's what certainly Billy Gillespie's done, bringing that sense of toughness. Their next date for Kansas State, Wednesday, right here at the Fog.
Huge days for Martin and Hoskins, nailing the 3 for the Wildcats today. Texas still 6-2 in the league, but that means tonight's winner will assume sole possession of top spot in the Big 12 at the midway point of the conference season.
Kavaliauskas does a nice job on the glass. Good passer. Really an improved post player. Can shoot the 3 as well. With that baby,
yes,
you can see I watched him in a warm-up. He can shoot the ball from deep.
A guy who came from Lithuania when he got to the States knew only 3 words of English. Yes, no, and okay. A couple of years at a junior college, he expanded his vocabulary. Here's a guy who's going to have an outstanding career, Sharon Collins, who has really stepped it up. He's their second leading scorer in conference play.
Yeah, he's one of those diaper dandies. Came out of high school. Those guards we've seen that have made an impact, like Conley at Ohio State, DJ Augustine.
Kavalauskas, no basket, foul before the shot. Bill Self upset about the call. Billy Gillespie upset they didn't get the basket. He'll shoot. It'll be A&M ball when we come back. The fog is hopping tonight, and we got a good one going between the Aggies and Jayhawks. All tied up at 11, midway through the first half here at Lawrence. Wednesday night, another chapter will be written in the most storied rivalry in college basketball.
Yeah. College basketball alive and well.
Here come the Hills, baby. This is new basketball, baby. Yes, sir, this is awesome.
There is just something magical about this rivalry.
Wednesday night the men, the Thursday night the women. What a week it's going to be, all a part of Rivalry Week on the ESPN family of networks, and I know you're charged up for that game Wednesday night.
Oh, that's the best rivalry in all of college athletics. I know some people talk about Michigan, Ohio State. You can talk Kentucky, Louisville, another great one in basketball. But I'm telling you, there is nothing like the intensity, the emotion, and the women's game is going to be incredible. Yeah. Both are unblemished. I mean, think about it, undefeated.
Outstanding atmosphere here as always. The North Carolina men are going to be all fired up, even more so than usual, Dick, for that game Wednesday night after losing at NC State earlier today.
Well, you know, Duke got beat recently as well by Virginia. Sean Singletary, one of the most underrated players in America.
A wild day of basketball today. Got a chance to watch a lot of it during the day. Texas losing at home by 1 to Kansas State, as we mentioned, although Kevin Durant scored 32 more points here today. And I want to talk to you about Player of the Year at some point tonight.
He's closing the gap. He's closing the gap, Mr. Tucker.
Pompey off the side of the backboard.
He's closing the gap. If Orlando's listening out of Wisconsin.
I think he might have taken the lead. Law off the side of the backboard. Said he got hit on the arm. Orlando, Tucker, Wisconsin, Aaron Brooks, Oregon, a lot of worthy candidates. But boy, the numbers that Durant's putting up are just overwhelming right now.
Yes, so Nick Fasikas. I'm going to VBDI is going to reveal my Player of the Year. Every week I'll have a new evaluation. Monday I'll reveal it, baby. Monday night.
Another turnover committed by Kansas. Their 7th already, Dick. That's just way too many in 10 minutes of basketball.
Well, that's a defensive effort. They put pressure on the ball. They see ball you man. They play defense as a unit. And they also play as a unit offensively. I mean, there's a lot of coaching going on. Screens.
And a lot of contact away from the ball under the basket, and the foul is going to go on Kansas's Darnell Jackson, a real rugged blue-collar kind of guy who figures to be very, very useful for the Jayhawks here tonight. Let's look at top 25 teams who lost today. Look how many teams went down to defeat, including a couple of surprises in the Big 12. Texas losing at home to K-State, and Oklahoma State getting beaten rather badly at Colorado, one of the tail-end teams in the league.
That's one of the big surprises. I don't look at Oregon and Southern Cal as a major upset.
Agreed.
Al Skinner doing a great job with the ACC without Sean Williams. Has a big blowout win today. Dudley's playing great for Boston College.
Had 30 points today.
So I knew you would know that. I knew it. I mean, you're like a machine. You and Andy Katz sitting to my right.
Deep three, Josh Carter, way beyond the line.
That's his ability to shoot that three.
Not surprisingly, a low-scoring game with A&M arguably the best defensive team in the country. Yet Kansas is up there in a number of defensive stats as well.
And what they're doing really well, Texas A&M is getting back defensively to try and control that transition game.
Good hedge there by Jones. The pass from Collins off to right, switches hands, misses the layup. It'll stay at this end of the floor. The ball did not hit the rim, so the shot clock did not reset. It's at 14.
Think about this while you're winning. Number one, you shoot better than 50%. You lead the conference in free throw shooting at 74%. Scoring defense, you're the best in the conference. You're also the best in the conference field goal percentage defensively.
But they lost Russell Robinson on a screen, and he gives the Jayhawks the lead.
You know, he really hurt them last year in their one matchup when they beat Texas A&M. He had 24 in that game, and he had 13 points from the free throw line.
Good position by Jones inside. Jackson stood him up. And we got a foul going against A&M, much to the chagrin of Billy Gillespie. That foul's going on Antanas Kavalauskas, his first. Hey, Big Monday presented by Bud Light, a part of Rivalry Week presented by Cisco. It starts off up in Connecticut as the Huskies host Syracuse. Then the game Dick and I will be at Texas and Texas A&M, 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN HD. UConn, by the way, finally got a win today, but they needed overtime at home to beat Rutgers as Collins gets to the rim and draws the foul.
I can't wait to get down there to College Station. The Reed Rowdies are going to really be great to be with. Hey, by the way, we want to send our best out for a speedy recovery to one of the real outstanding coaches for years, former coach at Texas A&M, Shelby Metcalf. Shelby, all of us send our really best wishes for a recovery. Our prayers are with you.
Second foul on Joseph Jones. Collins to the line. Jones will have to sit down, and that'll bring Brian Davis back into the game.
What a year, Dan, for point guards coming out of the high school ranks. When you think about college, you think about Michael Connolly, you think about DJ Augustine, certainly you think about Lawson in North Carolina. I want to salute today to Mr. Sidney Lowe. He gets a win as a coach, and he's had a win as a player against the Tar Heels.
I like the bright red jacket he had on as AC Law drops that floater in. I think that was with the right hand. He's basically an ambidextrous guy. Shoots threes with the left, floaters with the right. Julian Wright with the pull-up.
Julian Wright can be as good as he wants to be. He's got gifts you can't teach.
Yep.
His elevation, his quickness. AC Law is one of the most under-heralded players in America.
I agree with you. At the beginning of the year, the talk amongst point guards was Ronald Steele and Dominic James were the two best. Steele's been hobbled by injuries, has still had a good year. James has had a very good year, but AC Law's got to be in the conversation among the best point guards in America.
Yeah, he really understands how to run a system and to be part of the system. We're going to see right here his ability to go to his right hand. He's a left-handed player, utilized the right one right there.
Shot everything right-handed until the 7th grade when he broke his right wrist. That's when he learned how to shoot left-handed, and now the threes are with the left, the floaters are with the right.
Hey, like Greg Oden. Yeah, using the left hand on the free throw line. Take a look here at his numbers, how they keep getting better and better and better.
And one of these guys, Dick, the bigger the game, the better he plays.
And he's related to Ernie Banks.
That's right, it's his great uncle.
Any guy related to Ernie Banks has to be special. Ernie used to say, let's play too, baby.
That's right. Kansas leading by 3. Davis spins to the baseline and lays it in. They're getting good production out of him off the bench.
Nice play by Davis down to the post. Good drop step. Picks the ball up strong.
Jackson. And the foul's going to be inside, I believe, on Kavalauskas of the Aggies. That'll be his second as we check in with Aaron.
Dan, just to add more on AC Law. Now remember, he was one of 2 guys on this Texas A&M team that was part of the 0-12 A&M team before Billy Gillespie came in. When Gillespie came and started coaching and telling these players how he wanted things to be, he wanted to leave. AC Law wanted to transfer, but it was his parents who urged him to stay. AC and Gillespie, they really just didn't click, but it took Law a while to become the leader that Billy Gillespie wanted.
Yeah, that important relationship between the coach and the point guard, probably the most important relationship on any team. And both Gillespie and Law, headstrong, stubborn. That's part of what makes them so special. That last foul, as we mentioned, the second on Kavalauskas. He's got 2, and Joseph Jones has 2. And now Jones looks like he's getting set to check in. Davis will come out, so Billy Gillespie's going to have both of his big guys in the game with 2 fouls and 8 minutes to go in the first half.
I agree with that. You're on a road. You can't give that edge. You got to play with those 2 fouls. He needs minutes out of those people.
Trusting his upperclassmen, Kavalauskas a senior, Jones a junior, to play without picking up that 3rd foul.
They got to get Jones a little involved offensively down to the inside. Had a career high the other night at 21.
Good range on the jumper for Joseph Jones, and they're back within 1.
They got to get him involved offensively. On the other side, Brandon Rush has been really quiet. Shooting better than 45% from the 3 in a Big 12.
Rush has not scored here tonight. And we have a travel, says Larry Rose, who's working the game here tonight along with Hal Lusk and Paul Jansen. We'll step aside. Kansas up by 1. We'll take a look at Dickie V's best players in the history of the Kansas program when we come back.
Super Bowl Sunday. Live from Miami, the Sunday NFL Countdown team.
Let me tell you what wins games. Matchups and desire.
Loaded with big game experience.
Super Bowls define careers.
And ready for a special 3-hour edition beginning at 11 a.m. Wow. After the game, a complete recap on SportsCenter.
SportsCenter's coverage of the 9th Super Bowl in Miami continues.
Followed by Boomer and TJ's one-of-a-kind analysis on NFL primetime.
Smell the pigskin.
ESPN, your Super Bowl Sunday destination.
This telecast is available in stunning high definition on ESPN HD. We've got a 1-point game. Kansas over A&M. 7.5 to go first half here at the Fog, and this is such a great program. It has been, well, since the game began. Let's take a look at Dickie V's Super 7 Jayhawks.
Well, I tell you, it's tough to Big Five. You start with Clyde Leveillette. There he is with a little layup. And what about Wilt Still? Chamberlain, what a dominator. And then Danny Manning, who led him to that national title, 1988. It was Danny and his 4 buddies.
Danny and the Miracles.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then you got Nick Collison, JoJo White was special, Darnell Valentine, a terrific point guard, and Paul Pierce, Mr. Versatility.
Danny Manning, still a part of the Kansas staff, lives here. And boy, how would you like to be a big guy coming to Kansas and have Danny Manning be one of the guys who coaches you out on the field?
Hey, you're recruiting. You're recruiting. You must recruit for Kansas. Oh, Bill Self's got you on the staff.
Joseph Jones with a 3, and A&M goes on top.
Well, he can score inside, outside. That's the book on him. He's had some injuries, ankle injury.
Small town guy just like his coach, Billy Gillespie. Jones coming from Normandy, Texas, and he and Gillespie with a lot in common. Darrell Arthur drops in the 15-footer to tie it.
I like the potential of Arthur. Good ball movement, got him to screen up on top. He can make that facing shot. You mentioned Joe Jones, his biggest fan, his mom, Betty. She used to coach him with the little dribblers when he was a kid.
Jones with a nice feed to Kavalauskas, who's heading to the line. There's Mom.
Yes, sir. She knows her basketball, baby.
Let's go now to Dave Revson in the studio for a SportsCenter 30 at 30 update.
Thank you, Dan. On the eve of the Super Bowl, Pro Football Hall of Fame class announced. Our colleague Michael Irvin, one of 6 players heading to Canton. Thurman Thomas, Bruce Matthews also among the inductees. College hoops, NC State, fresh off the win over Virginia Tech, knocks off number 3 Carolina. First time they've beaten ranked teams in back-to-back games in 16 years. Highlights SportsCenter after the game, ESPN News, anytime.
Well, what a week for the Wolfpack, and what a few days. What an opportunity here for Texas A&M playing at Kansas tonight, hosting Texas Monday night, 9 Eastern, here on ESPN. They're on the map nationally, but what a huge statement they could make if they could pull off a couple of wins.
Well, you know, perception-wise, with the average fan, they don't look at Texas A&M as a basketball power,
right,
but they're becoming one. And I think if they can really play brilliantly in the next 48 hours on national television, that'll elevate their whole program.
Well, I'll tell you this. Students were lining up a couple of days ago for tickets to the Texas game. There were so many, they had to disperse the crowd and hold a lottery just to keep things calm for that game Monday night.
Hey, you and I going to get a seat? Are we going to get a seat? Good man-to-man defense, both clubs. I tell you, they make you play defense because they move the ball so well. They get a lot of motion, excellent spacing. A lot of teams can play the initial bounce of the ball, but they don't play really well once you reverse the ball.
Shot clock at 2. Law gets it off and buries it.
He likes that big moment. He shoots like a knuckleball.
He does.
When it goes in, he's shooting better than 40% from the 3. I don't care what kind of shot he shoots.
6 early points for Law, 3-point lead for the Aggies. This guy is tough.
Here is a little one-on-one. I mean, that's right in your grill, right in your face. He shot that baby.
Foul was on Kirk. Now Collins goes out. Robinson will come back in, and he might have to check Law now.
You know, Robinson and Law were just nominated for the Bob Cousy Award, best point guard in America, named after one of the greats, number 14, Boston Celtics, one of the class people in all of basketball.
Rush still scoreless. That shot may have been partially blocked by Carter. Arthur left all alone. Rush the rebound, and there's his first basket of the night.
And there's the versatility he possesses. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more hungry to want to score. He has so much ability.
In conference play, he's not only their leading scorer, he's their leading rebounder as well. Kavaliauskas steps in, gets it back, puts it up, and draws the foul.
I'll tell you one thing he brings. He brings a certain toughness to the interior. Kavaliauskas is just a tough interior player. We're going to see the jump shot right there by Arthur. But now look at Russell. Great inside position. And then he has the poise to wait till the defense reacts and scores. Comes from a family that played hoops. His brother.
Jaron and Kareem. Jaron at UCLA. Kareem at Missouri. Kavaliauskas, a guy that Billy Gillespie went up to Barton County Community College up in Kansas to scout somebody else. Saw Kavaliauskas, liked him, recruited him, got him, and Kavaliauskas has put on weight, gotten stronger, and as you say, he's got a real nasty streak about him. He doesn't back down from anybody.
He really does. When you talk about Billy Gillespie, he's a single guy, and his unbelievable devotion 24/7. It is all Aggies basketball, basketball, basketball.
And Mr. Texas, as we mentioned, from there, went to school there, high school coach, junior college. A little 2-3 now from the Aggies.
Showing a little zone, normally play man-to-man. Let him try to match up.
Good block from behind by Pompey. The foul must have been by somebody else with the body. Hey, Super Tuesday presented by Lexus is all a part of Rivalry Week presented by Cisco. At 7 Eastern Tuesday, Michigan takes on Ohio State. The Buckeyes winning in East Lansing today. Then LSU and Tennessee, 9 o'clock on ESPN. LSU lost to Mississippi State today despite 27-10 from Big Baby.
I'll tell you, LSU, we thought they were going to have a big year. They have a win over Texas A&M. Returned a nice nucleus from last year's Final Four team. They have struggled. I mean, you have to list them as one of your disappointments early. I anticipated a great year for them. So Arizona bounced back today with a blowout over Washington.
Well, yet another tie. They've gone back and forth with ties and lead changes for the first 15 minutes of this game, and that's the way we expect it to be all night long.
Both clubs really playing tough defensively. A lot of intensity out there.
A steal by Chalmers, averaging almost 3 per game, and then he's fouled by Brian Davis. Well, we talked about some of the greats in Kansas's history. One guy we did mention is Wayne Simeon, who's very close to being on that list, but he's still leaving his mark here at Lawrence. Let's find out how from Aaron.
He certainly is. Remember, he was with the Miami Heat when they won this nice piece of bling bling right here. This is his NBA championship ring. He is actually donating it to Kansas. He gave it to the athletic director, Lou Perkins. They're going to put it in their Hall of Fame. I don't think I'm going to give it up. This is $35,000, guys. Let's be honest, probably the best ring I'll have on this finger.
Well, no. I got a feeling your ring is going to be a lot more than $35,000 when that right one comes along.
I put that ring on earlier, Dick. It is humongous. You can't wear it.
How do you wear it?
I think Aaron had it on 2 fingers over there. It is just huge.
It just fits Shaq's hand.
That's right.
Out of Miami.
Sloan is fouled by Chalmers. So a little extracurricular activity, as they say. Sloan and Chalmers. There's a lot of toughness on both sides of the ball in this game tonight.
You know, you made a great point before about Simeon. You could think of Kirk Heinrich. You know, it's so difficult to pick 5 best players in a program.
Wayne Simeon's parents.
Yes, sir. Still in love with Jayhawk basketball.
Well, there is such great tradition here, as much as any program in America, and such a great love for this program from all around this city. I mean, it's just a treat to come here and do a game.
Don't forget the job Roy Williams did here. He was absolutely sensational here. I mean, magnificent. In fact, think about it right now. Kansas has a streak of 17 consecutive NCAA berths. Number 1 is Lute Olson in Arizona with 22.
And obviously Kansas is going to extend that streak and get to 18. Arizona.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that a scoop?
That's a scoop.
Oh, you got a scoop on me.
And how about Texas A&M? You talked about this earlier.
It's a lock.
They've never been to the tournament twice in a row in the program's history. It's a lock. Obviously, it's going to happen this year. Billy Gillespie is becoming the first coach to do a whole bunch of things down at College Station.
Oh, he's also got fans coming out. When he came in, they were really struggling in terms of attendance.
Rush using the screen, buries the 3.
He's got great touch and great form. Notice you young kids how he squares his body to the basket and gets the great look. Squares and shoots it at the peak of the jump. Listen to this faithful. Listen to this faithful. The Rock Chalk Jayhawk faithful. You got to really focus as a team visiting here. What a win it had to be for Oral Roberts to beat him on his floor. And then 11 threes in that game.
Shot clock under 10. Law trying to shake Robinson. Davis inside, and it's blocked by Julian Wright.
Wright showing a great jumping ability.
Shot clock violation.
Terrific defensive play. Great defensive effort.
Pressure, three-point shot, all that. Yes, you all that. Yes, you all that. Yes, you all that. Yes, you all that.
This sure brings me back.
To when? 5 minutes ago? You've never had that.
Never had a Coke before? You think I've gone soft in the head?
That's Coke Zero.
The 13th president was Millard Fillmore.
Okay.
Do you know what the capital of Djibouti is? The capital of Djibouti is Djibouti. Don't try to tell me I've never had a Coke before. Got a mind like a steel trap.
Da, 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 da. Enjoy Cokeness at mycokerewards.com.
3 minutes, 20 seconds away from the UPS halftime report with Reese Davis, Jay Billis, Digger Phelps, Hubert Davis, an upset on Tobacco Road, another win for the Huggy Bear, and 6 new members of the NFL Hall of Fame. You know what Digger's telling Reese right now? You know what he's telling?
4-2.
He's saying,
he said,
Reese,
I'm 4-2 here.
Did I mention I was 4-2 in this building?
4-2. Look at Reese smiling, saying, really? Look at Digger. He's 4-2. Look at Digger. 4-2, baby. 4-2.
Poor Reese.
He sent
he
me a
doesn't
note.
get paid enough.
He sent me a note. He said, please tell everybody I was 4-2.
Not like Digger to pat himself on the back, though.
Oh, Digger would never do that. He's like I am, shy and introverted.
Right. Looking forward to the UPS halftime report. We get a 1-point game here with the Fog. Kansas 27, A&M 26. As Dick mentioned earlier, Kansas at home against South Division of Big 12 teams.
31-0.
Yeah, they play all in one conference, but for scheduling purposes, they're still a North and a South. They have never lost here at the Fog to a South Division team. Collins gets by Kavalauskas. What a move!
That's a big-time move right there. Come out of the Windy City, Chicago, went to the same high school as Allen, Tony Allen, and Will Bynum. I used to love Bynum and Allen.
And Collins in high school, an outstanding wide receiver, also a pitcher and third baseman, threw 90 miles an hour as a pitcher. Law just air-mailed one over the KU bench into the crowd.
He's becoming an impact player. Look at the little isolation right here. And watch this hang time. Lays it on the glass. I tell you, he looked like the kid I saw the other day on TV, Eric Gordon. Wow.
Good, huh? Really?
Oh, wait till Gordon comes to Bloomington, Indiana.
Hey, I'll tell you something else about Collins. Since November, he has lost 25 pounds, gave up junk food. They put him on a nutritionally sound diet, and he has really gotten in better shape. A steal by the Aggies.
What about my look? I'm in better shape.
You're good.
Wow.
You gave up bread a few weeks ago.
That was tough.
Whoa. Bill Self out on the floor, screaming for an offensive foul on Law.
He had a legitimate argument right there as well.
And now we have an injury to Dominique Kirk of Texas A&M. Larry Rose checking with him.
Talk about intensity. It all starts with the coaches. Look at the intensity. Look at the face of Bill Self. He did a great job at Tulsa. In fact, they went to the Elite 8 1 year.
That's right.
They lost to North Carolina for the right. That's a charge. There's no question. Defense beat them to the spot. You know, it's not a matter whether the defense is moving. It's beating them to the spot. Look at that intensity. That's how you win, my friends. Your players feel that. They feel that passion.
Both Bill Self and Billy Gillespie as the nicest guys in the world, but you get them in the 40 minutes of the game, and they are as intense as any coach in America.
Well, that's part of being in the coaching fraternity today. Got a technical on it.
Yep.
See, I don't like compounding the situation. Let me explain what I mean by compounding it. You miss a call, okay, the guy gets up and he gripes. Let him gripe a little bit and walk away from him. Why compound it now and give him a technical?
So 2 big points as Carter knocks down the free throws to get him back within 1. A technical on the KU bench.
Well, it was on the bench, so therefore it wasn't, you know, I don't think he'd use any profanity, not Bill Self. But then again, over here, we can't tell. But really, sometimes I see situations. To me, a good bit of officiating is if you make the mistake, you walk away from it. Let the guy get a gripe.
Kirk stays in the game. He looked to be in a fair bit of pain holding his right arm, but he obviously is all right as he stays in the game.
He's like a Levon Kendall. He's one of the glue guys.
And his jumper rattles out. Kirk, known as an outstanding defender, and his teammates are saying to him, hey, you're pretty good offensively as well. Look for your shot every now and again.
Yeah, he just wants to defend, and he's so valuable to the team. Billy Gillespie was saying he's just so valuable with his toughness he brings.
Kavalauskas on the floor with 2 fouls. Jones on the bench, and a 5-second call against A&M.
Excellent defense, Kansas.
10th turnover committed by the Aggies. 2 great defensive teams here tonight.
They have held 28 straight opponents below 50%. Kansas over a 2-year period.
And you know what the longest streak currently in the nation is? 32 by Texas A&M. Wow. Neither of these teams ever allows anybody to shoot 50%. And right now, both of them are in the 40s so far here tonight.
Well, you can see the pride they take playing defense.
There's a block against the Aggies on Pompey. A well-traveled young man, born in Trinidad, grew up in Toronto, went to high school for a year at Houston, went to prep school in Massachusetts, and now is an Aggie.
I'll tell you the big wins they've had thus far, looking at their schedule, certainly the win over Florida on a neutral floor, Oklahoma State by 30. They drilled them, beat Boston College, and beat USC. And what a job they are doing down there in that program, Tim Floyd. I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job.
And with their win over Oregon today, USC goes to 8-3. They're in 2nd place in the Pac-10 right now.
And this is only the beginning. Taj Gibson's a freshman. They get O.J. Mayo next year. He's going to be so electrifying there in Tinseltown. See the double screen up top? And they get an isolation.
Law goes the other way, and there's the use of the right hand again, shielding the ball from the defender with his body.
Well, a terrific set in that they got an isolation for a one-on-one maneuver by Law.
Right, the kick to Collins. What a scoop! And the foul's going to go against A&M. Pompey, I believe. Boy, their second scintillating drive by Collins, and Law had an equally good drive at the other end.
I like that, Dan. Scintillating drive, yeah. Look at the isolation right here. A little isolation, protects the ball really well, uses the right hand. He's a left-handed player.
2 shots coming here for Wright. 10th team foul committed by the Aggies.
Hey, the Big 12's got some good basketball. Texas Tech, the last team to beat Kansas at Texas Tech.
And the last team to beat A&M as
yes,
well.
Sir.
2 big wins for Bob Knightson. We were talking before the game about how many bids this league can expect. I agree with you.
I think they're going to get 6.
K-State certainly got a huge win for their cause today, winning down in Austin.
That was a major win. 1 by 1, despite Durant getting 32.
Wright caused it. Robinson comes up with a steal.
Look at a great job defensively in getting back. A simple thing by getting back to make him have to bring the ball back out.
Right. A battle for the rebound, and Darnell Jackson will go to the line.
Jackson working that offensive glass.
Big Monday presented by Bud Light, all a part of Rivalry Week presented by Cisco on ESPN. First at 7 Eastern, one of the best rivalries of the Big East, Syracuse and UConn. And then we'll be down in College Station at Texas A&M and Texas. Nothing means more to Aggie fans than a chance to knock off the Longhorns, and this year it should be an outstanding game. Kevin Durant, arguably the best player in the country. We're seeing arguably the best defensive team in the country in the Aggies. We'll see if A&M can shut down Durant on Monday night.
The only 3 guys that I've seen that are comparable coming out of high school as Durant, as the same kind of player on a perimeter skilled big player, they would be Nowitzki, Garnett, and McGrady.
Wow.
And they went right from high school to the NBA. Durant is absolutely sensational. How good? Aldridge was like the top 4 pick in the NBA draft from Texas. Durant is much more offensively skilled.
Timeout on the floor with Kansas leading by 3. Let's go into the Wayback Machine right now. Everybody was asking you, everybody wanted to know, when is the last time that Dick Vitale worked a Texas A&M basketball game? Well, see for yourself.
It's surprising.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to College Station, Texas. I'm Fred White, along with Coach Dick Vitale.
Well, there's tremendous spirit. This is what college athletics is all about, and there's no doubt the crowd can be a factor. But the real factor tonight is going to be tempo.
Hey, Hey, what's that tempo tonight? 28 years later.
You look the same.
Sideburns?
You look, the burns are a little longer, but, you know.
Freddie White was a baseball guy.
That's
like
right.
you.
Good, great
Fred
guy.
White, very good baseball guy.
Yeah, terrific.
I can't believe it. Oh, eat your heart out, Dan. Eat your heart out. Eat your heart out.
They weren't even alive in 1981. Now they're your best buddies. 25 years since you've worked an A&M game. They're going to be waiting for you on Monday night. Get your sleep on Sunday.
I love that. Sunday, I got to watch the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Party.
Boy, Sharon Collins, how do you keep this guy out of the lane?
He can score. He's got the great body, very strong, very physical, takes it to the rack. He's been a difference coming off that
He sure has. 8 points off the bench for the Jayhawks. Now a steal by Julian Wright. Kansas finishing strong here in the first half.
And it's important now you get the last shot and you make sure you get a good shot. They're going to try to get this guy Collins a little one-on-one. He's got the great body.
And he's got their best defender on him in Dominique Kirk. Good screen by Wright. Collins lost it on the way up. And Kavalauskas stepped out of bounds, so Kansas will get the ball back. They had the ball. They had time to try to get down the floor, but instead, KU will get another shot. And now into the game for A&M, Chinamalu Alanu, freshman out of Houston. They call him junior as AC Law sits down.
He's a good athlete.
Yep.
They really believe he's got a terrific upside. He's just learning how to play the game.
He's guarding the ball, just trying to make it difficult on Robinson. Rush the three. And the arrow is going to give it back to A&M. In that situation, you go to the arrow, so A&M will get it back with 0.2 of a second. They
can't get a shot.
They can tap, that's all.
Under .3, you can't get a shot.
Harder to inbound.
You know, Bill Self at Illinois had 25 wins, 3 consecutive years, did a phenomenal job before coming here to Kansas.
Jackson knocked the ball out of bounds. The clock didn't move, though. And the officials are going to confer to decide whether the half is over. Larry Rose says
it's over. It's over. Momentum, Uncle Mo on the side of the Jayhawks.
Great first half off the bench for the outstanding freshman, Sharon Collins. 5-point lead for the Jayhawks, and their coach, Bill Self, is standing by with Aaron Andrews.
Coach, you bragged today about Sharon Collins and what he gives you. What has he done for you so far off the bench?
We didn't have much offense, obviously, and he came in and gave us some confidence and made some big shots for us.
What is the biggest adjustment you need to make for the second half?
We got to calm down. You know, everybody in the whole building's excited tonight. We just need to calm down and play.
Thank you. Dan?
A ton of hype, and it's living up to the hype. It's been a lot of fun here in the first half. The Jayhawks lead the Aggies by 5. When we come back, Reese and the gang with the UPS halftime reports.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA, and TGI Fridays Restaurants, where the 3-course menu is back. Everyone could use more Fridays.
Back at halftime, Kansas and Texas A&M UPS halftime report. Julian Wright coming off a career offensive performance against Nebraska with 17-7 in the first half. Jayhawks by 5 over the Aggies at the break. This afternoon, North Carolina on the road at NC State. Gavin Grant's going to come up the open floor and get loose.
Well, North Carolina State was terrific defensively, getting in the passing lanes, but offensively, they shot 60% for the entire game.
Shot 76% in the second half, but North Carolina still fighting back. Tyler Hansbrough, Jay.
Well, Tyler Hansbrough was a man in the second half, took the ball to the basket, had 24 points, 8 rebounds in the game.
And Courtney Bell's had an answer, Digger.
Yes, he did. He comes back, 21 points. But this is the big three to put him up 72-60, and that was the difference with 7 minutes left.
83-79. NC State is consecutive wins over ranked opponents for the first time. 91. Oregon and USC. Tim Floyd and the Trojans trying to sweep the Ducks. Gabe Pruitt, Todd Gibson with the stuff.
Yeah, Todd Gibson was huge. I mean, 18 points again versus Oregon.
Here is Bryce Taylor going in for the Ducks. Oregon down by just a deuce. Oregon trying to pull one out of the fire. Down by 3. Aaron Brooks. And so many shots to win games for the Ducks this season. Couldn't tie it up there. USC finishes the season sweep by 3. Oklahoma State and Colorado. Tyler Hatch stepping outside, draining the 3, Jay.
But Colorado did a really good job in this ball game. Obviously, Oklahoma State scored there, but Colorado was outstanding today. And Oklahoma State really didn't answer the call. They didn't bring the intensity you need on the road to be a winner.
Calvin Bay knocking down a couple of threes. Cowboys down by 12. Dominique Coleman for the Buffs. Little exclamation, 89-77. Coach lost 3 Big 12 games on the road by an average of 20 points. Kansas State and Texas. Kevin Durant went off again, Digger.
Durant had a big game, but it wasn't enough. 32 points and obviously 19 rebounds, but he was the only guy that played well.
9 rebounds to go with those 32 for Durant. Cartier Martin had the answer for K-State.
Yeah, he had a big 3 right here, but this was the guy. 27 points for K-State. This is their 3rd straight road win.
Texas tried to save themselves in the end. Damian James, a little too late for the 2. 73-72. Texas over Kansas State. We continue on the UPS halftime report. Florida looking for a little revenge, and the playmaker looking for a spot in the Hall of Fame.
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Let's go! Come on! Drive, slam, full court, pressure, 3-point shot, all that. Yes, sir, you all that. Yes, you all that. Yes, you all that. Yes, you all that. Yes.
And welcome back to Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Here at Lawrence, Kansas. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, Aaron Anders, the Game Day crew, all with you here. And a special guest has dropped by. Welcome back to Saturday Primetime, presented by DirecTV. A 5-point lead for the Jayhawks over the Aggies. Who do we have here, Mr. B?
Right up there,
Yeah,
look up there.
way up there.
Herm Edwards, baby, the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I know you got the Colts, but that's another story for another time. What do you think of the first half here tonight?
Well, I thought the defensive effort was superb by both clubs. I thought at the end of the half, momentum certainly went to the way of Kansas. They did a better job getting some good shots. Finally got rush free for a shot.
Well, let's go inside their offense right now. Tell us how they're getting those good looks.
Well, they set 2.
Dick, maybe, who knows, this game may go a long way towards deciding a #1 seed come the NCAA tournament.
Well, certainly would be a statement victory to win on the road here. They've won 11 in a row, Kansas.
And a foul is going to be called against Texas A&M on the drive-by rush. Let's check in now with Aaron Andrews.
Dan, A&M head coach Billy Gillespie told me, honestly, nothing in that first half made him happy. Guard the ball screen. That's what he emphasized to his team, as well as offensive rebounds. They only had 4 in the first half, Dan.
Well, another thing that's not going to make him happy, Aaron, that was the 3rd foul on Joseph Jones. The bigs, Jones and Kavalauskas, both were in foul trouble at times in the first half. Quick subs, Sloan in and Carter out, and Billy Gillespie in the grill of Josh Carter making a sub just 19 seconds into the second half.
Well, you know, Carter hasn't given him the 3-point shot, and that's what they need out of him. He's one of the premier 3-point shooters in college basketball. They've done a great job containing him.
Aaron talked about the 4 offensive rebounds. That's all for A&M in the first half. That was the 12th offensive rebound of the game for the Jayhawks. There's the 13th, although Kahn missed the putback.
You can't give a club 2nd and 3rd shots of the quality of Kansas.
Out of bounds, A&M basketball. We mentioned neither team ever allows the opposition to shoot 50% or better. Both teams in the 40s in the first half. A rebounding edge and obviously a second chance points edge to Kansas. Leading scorers in the game, A.C. Law with 8 for A&M, Sharon Collins with 8 for Kansas.
When you're getting on the offensive glass, that means you're playing aggressive basketball. You block shots, force turnovers, get on the offensive boards. They're all elements of playing aggressive basketball.
Jones, little strong, and the tip comes out to Rush.
They got to get Jones going offensively. They're in a little drought right now.
Baseline drive, Robinson.
Great clear out. They're doing a terrific job of attacking the basket. We saw Collins in the first half, and there's Robinson out of Rice High School in New York.
Bill Self was a little worried. All the hype, the Saturday game, you and the Game Day guys and everybody here all day. that his team would be a little overamped, and he said to Aaron in the interview at the end of the first half, he just wants them to relax and play the way they're capable of playing.
Well, you know, he's in a situation. Everybody here expects blowouts. There's the clear out and the drive by Robinson. I was talking to Jim Marchione as we see the drive right there, Associate Athletic Director. Kansas, like Kentucky, North Carolina, and Duke. When they lose, it's an unbelievable exciting event. People expect nothing but perfection.
Law's floater too strong, rush the rebound.
Kansas looks to me like they got the upper edge right now coming out at halftime.
Robinson using the screen, and the three rims out on him. The rebound to Brian Davis, who has checked into the game for Joseph Jones.
Sloan on the floor, good combo guard, young kid, can play either guard slot.
Kavalauskas has it stripped by Julian Wright, and a foul then is called on Wright. Right, acknowledging that it was on him. A&M, known as a team, Dick, as we mentioned, both mentally and physically tough. They can take a punch in the mouth on the road and not be intimidated by it, reflecting the intensity of their head coach.
Well, that's because they defend so well, and they usually get good shots with their offensive system.
Carter back in for Sloan.
Anytime you're going to get good shots and you defend, as I said earlier, you're going to be in position to win a basketball game.
Kirk. Open for three.
That's a big three. They needed some lift somehow because they've been struggling offensively.
Right behind the back. Pull up from the free throw line. How about that?
He was working hard on his shot earlier this evening. Pays dividends when you work for your young kids.
On his way to a solid night, the Kansas lead is 7.
There's a saying, genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration.
Whoa, that ball using about 99% of the rim before it's settled in for AC Law, who's into double figures.
I tell you, the one area they've done really well, Texas A&M, they have neutralized the transition game.
And for the most part, they've kept Rush in check, except for the last couple of minutes of the first half. He misses there, and Davis, who's becoming a big player here tonight because of the foul trouble to Jones, brings down another rebound.
Well, you know, Davis, Kavaliuski, and you throw in also Jones, give him a nice threesome on the baseline.
Kavalauskas on the drive, and a travel is called.
That's the second time he's been called for that walk. He lifts the pivot foot before he releases the ball. Take a look at Julian Wright. He's going to go around his back like Bob Cousy did years ago and shoots the little jump shot.
Special stuff from the 6'8 sophomore, a communications major, who says he's sticking around to graduate next year, on pace to graduate in 3 years, and he has basically said he's coming back to Lawrence for another season.
Well, he wants my job, but you know what? With his ability, it's going to be a long time because he's got many a year to still play some hoops.
He sits down. Darrell Arthur takes over for him, and a foul away from the ball going on Kirk of the Aggies.
Larry Rose with the call, one of the better officials in basketball. Terrific guy as well.
Second on Kirk. 5-point lead for the Jayhawks. Early second half. Robinson into traffic. Chalmers got it.
I tell you, they can score in so many different ways. Their perimeter players, Collins, Chalmers, Robinson, Rush. I think they're the best perimeter team in America. I really do. When you look at that foursome.
And now Larry Rose with a foul call down to the other end.
Tell you, an underrated tandem in the backcourt is down in Virginia with Singletary and Reynolds. They are really dynamite together.
Ask Duke about that.
Yeah, beat Duke and also had a good win at home to kick the season off against Arizona.
Kavalauskas back into the game after a short breather. That foul, I believe, went on Chalmers of KU.
Kavaliuski was open and missed him, so they waited too late to get him the ball.
Now the double team, he finds the open man, and it's the shooter. Carter misses the three.
They need that shot from out of corner.
Oh, boy, that's a tough call right there. Robinson looked to have gotten rid of the ball before he fell to the floor.
Good job, Bill Self saying, good job. Got a smile on his face. You're up 7, you can smile.
You'll get another look as we go to break. Tough call going against the Jayhawks here at the Phog.
Bad call, bad call.
This telecast is available in stunning high definition tonight on ESPN HD. A 7-point lead for the Jayhawks back here at the Phog. Early stages of the second half. Al Johnson, one of the assistant coaches for Texas A&M, has just started traveling with the team again. He's overcome a lot. He has something called dermatomyositis, an autoimmune disease that has really affected him in a number of difficult ways. And let's find out more with Aaron Andrews.
Dan, it started up in October. His eyelids began to swell. His body turned cold. He lost 40% muscle strength in his arms and his legs. He even had to lie down when he walked from the living room to the bathroom. Luckily, doctors got it under control, like you mentioned. His very first road trip with the A&M team receives injections once a week, and hopefully the doctors can get a handle on this one.
And Aaron, first year as an assistant coach, formerly the video coordinator, as you say, on medication. Now things are improving, but he told me before the game it's going to be about 6 months till he's back to 100%.
Wow, certainly wish him the best. Has a great love for the game, loves his Texas A&M Aggies.
Dick, the last basket by AC Law, the last foul on AC Law, that is his third. So Jones has 3, Law has 3. That's a challenge for A&M. Rush going right to the rim, basket.
Score the basket right there. Good call. Anytime you're going to take that directly over the rim like that, that's going to be goaltending. There's Rush being a little assertive now, going to the basket. Absolutely clear, no doubt about that.
Recently trying to get to the rim more and relying a little bit less on the outside shot.
He can shoot that 3. She's better than 43% Rush in the conference.
Sloan being defended by Chalmers. A little bit short with that 3. Loose ball rebound to Robinson, who's been very active here tonight.
He's so unsung, this kid. He really is.
Look at this range. Con the offensive rebound.
With another offensive rebound.
Darrell Arthur.
Just absolutely dominating the glass. Offensively on the boards. They love it here in Rock-Chalk Jayhawk land. The Phog is one of the great venues. Rivalry week starts next week. When Kansas State comes here on Wednesday night, 7 in a row, Bobby Huggins.
Largest lead of the night for either team. KU by 9.
They're really playing well, doubling up on the ball.
Law splits the double team, finds Carter. Beautiful basketball.
Really did a great job, as you said, got out of the double team and got the ball to Carter, who's got to make that shot.
Carter 4th in the nation in 3-point shooting. That's his second 3 tonight. Hahn going right at Davis, blocked from behind. Good help there by Josh Carter. Oh, and then Law wasn't looking, and Sloan wasn't looking, and Davis's pass goes out of bounds.
And Billy Gillespie's looking like saying, what happened? What's going on?
Darnell Jackson back into the game now for Kansas. Sasha Khan will go out. Gillespie frustrated. They cannot commit those unforced errors here tonight against a team as good as Kansas. And here comes Joseph Jones back into the game with his 3 fouls.
His assistants were frustrated as well. I looked on the face, Alvin Brooks and Jeremy Cox as well. Do a great job laying screens, multiple screens.
Good trap in the corner. Chalmers gets out of it.
Sometimes the stagger screen, there's another bump on top.
Collins. And Kavalauskas commits the foul. That will be his 3rd.
Got to play that ball screen. You got to really play those ball screens. And you got to block out something they're not doing. Watch Kansas hitting the glass. There's one. There's another opportunity. Look at them working on that glass. Nobody blocking out. That's one of the lost arts in college basketball, blocking out.
Look at the disparity. 16-4 offensive rebound.
That's a 4-to-1 ratio.
Good call, Coach.
Not bad for a mathematic.
At the line, Collins becoming a bigger and bigger factor as the season goes along.
Next time, Gunther Lou Holtz told me one time, he said, you got a brain like Einstein. It's been dead since 1956.
3 fouls on arguably the 3 most important players that the Aggies have.
They're really getting after it defensively, feeding off that crowd. They make you execute. You really have to execute here to get a good shot.
Foul on Brandon Rush, who also took a shot to the face on that play.
The question is, can they knock him out? They knocked out Oklahoma State here. This club seems able to take the punch.
On a Monday night in Nebraska, Kansas roared out to a 43-8 lead. And then Nebraska played very well. And obviously there's a letdown when you have that big of a lead. Kirk drops in the long jumper to make it 48-43. But you're right, A&M can take a punch. They're not going away.
Hey, they got some tenacious kids, and Kirk can shoot the ball. Just doesn't shoot enough.
Good matchup, Rush and Law. Now Arthur driving on Kavalauskas, who's got to be careful, and he got a hand on that shot.
He did a terrific job with his body defensively to stay between Arthur and the basket, and he wants the ball. He got fouled inside, Kavalauskas. Get him the ball. He's a good passer. Real good passer for a post player.
Law, great feed inside, but 3 seconds the call on the Aggies.
You haven't seen that call in about 2 months.
Julian right back in, Billy Gillespie didn't really like that call.
I'm going to tell you one thing. You don't want to see the name Texas A&M on your side when that selection committee reveals their pairings.
And another thing we should mention, we talked about it briefly, the loss to LSU last year. It was a heartbreaker in the second round of the tournament. A&M was a 12 seed and beat Syracuse in the first round. And then Law hit a big shot to give him a lead with 3 seconds left against LSU before Daryl Mitchell drained a 3. LSU went all the way to the Final Four. Collins with another drive.
He's spectacular. Yeah. He's absolutely spectacular. What a difference as a player. As they say, what a difference a day makes. Dion Warwick, but baby, this guy, what a difference from the beginning of the year.
He's got a dozen. He's the high scorer in the game for the Jayhawks, and the lead is back to 7.
He's got a special toughness when he takes that ball to the basket. Look at him double up on the ball.
Ran into his own man and still drops down the baseline floater.
That was a tough shot.
Well, you're right again. You talked about it. How quickly does A&M get back?
They really get back quickly because Kansas tries to run that ball up so quick.
Collins open. He can shoot it.
Big-time scorer. He's a big-time scorer. He's going to be a special player in that Kansas uniform. You can see why he's so highly recruited.
Now a foul on Collins at the other end. 7 points in the last couple of minutes for Collins, 15 in the game. And an 8-point lead for the Jayhawks as we step aside here at the Fog. Herman Edwards with Aaron Andrews when we come back to Lawrence after this. Nothing but smiles early between these self-described best friends. Bill Self and Billy Gillespie have been nothing but intensity and fire since 2 of the stars of the college basketball coaching fraternity. Their teams battling one another. Kansas leading by 8 right now here in Lawrence. Aaron Andrews is standing by with another great coach, Herman Edwards. Aaron?
That's right, and Herman Edwards, coached with both Tony Dungy and Lovie Smith, of course, going for the big one tomorrow. Coached with them for 5 years. So who do you pick?
They're both champions. I'm not taking a pick on this one. I'll let all the other guys take the pick.
All right, then don't pick on the coaches. What team do you like tomorrow?
I like both teams. They're well coached by 2 great coaches, 2 of my best friends, so I think the fans will enjoy a good football game tomorrow.
Now, you actually worked for the NFL Network this week, and you went to interview them. What kind of questions were you giving these guys?
I gave them layups. They were pretty easy.
Like what?
Well, how's the family? No, really, how we kind of started in Tampa when we first went down there together and had a vision of really trying to resurrect the football team. And with Tony's leadership, he did a fantastic job down there.
What will you be like tomorrow when you watch this game?
Believe it or not, I'm going to the movies. I'm not going to watch it.
Why?
I can't do it. It'll eat me up. So I'm just going to go to the movies. I'll come back home. My wife will give me the report.
What are you going to see?
I'm actually going to see last King of Scotland or something like that.
You don't even know the name. You're going to miss the commercial.
I'm going to show up at 5 o'clock, go to the movie, and then watch a double feature, maybe.
Oh, wow. Herman Edwards, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know where you're going to be watching the game tomorrow night.
Well, we're going to have a Super Bowl party at my house. Why don't you join me? All my buddies are coming over. It's going to be a great one. But I'm going to give you a pick. I think the Colts will celebrate. Peyton Manning and company just too tough. Got to go 28-21. Colts over a tough Chicago Bear defense.
No last-second field goal. They're going to win it by a touchdown?
They're going to win by a touchdown.
7-point lead, Kansas over Texas A&M. The Aggies have never defeated Kansas. 0-11 all time.
If you want to go see a great movie, you better go see Dreamgirls. I saw that. That's terrific.
Darnell Jackson, terrific. 9-point lead for the Jayhawks.
Doing a great job sharing the ball. Jackson gets the dunk, moving the ball, playing well. You could see why they've won 13 in their last 14. The only loss was to Texas Tech, who was beaten tonight by Oklahoma.
Earlier today, Kansas State won at Texas. Nebraska won at Missouri earlier today in Big 12 play. Rush comes up with a rebound.
They're really making them go 5-on-5, and Kansas is really meeting the challenge.
Rush the step back three.
Not a good look right there. Defense was right in his face. The guy that's really giving him that spark though has been Collins. What a game he has played off that bench.
15 points, 5 for 7 from the field. AC Law is the high scorer for the Aggies. He's got 13.
They had Kavalowskis, but he didn't get him the ball. He was posted on the inside. You got to get him the ball at the right time.
Gets it now. And good help there. The block by Jackson.
Jackson did a great job rotating over from the help side.
Collins, no. It'll be Kansas basketball. Jackson threw it out of bounds off Law.
They're really playing so hard on the glass. Look at these fans here. As Kavalowski, now watch the help side. There's the timing, the good block by Jackson from the help side.
Midway point of the second half, Kansas by 9.
Danger time. Yep. Danger time for Texas A&M.
Robinson with a half step on Law. It'll go down.
I love the attacking style of the Kansas guards. Whether it be Chalmers, Robinson, Collins.
Largest lead of the night for the Jayhawks.
I think this team's going to make big noise in the tournament. I know they lost in the first round the last 2 years, but I think this team's playing with a little chip on their shoulder.
Rebound by Carter.
I wouldn't want to get them in the first round after losing the last 2 years to Bucknell and Bradley.
Law for three. The knuckleball a little bit short, and the rebound to Julian Wright. Kansas has done a phenomenal job on the glass tonight. A foul by Jones, his fourth, as things go from bad to worse for the Aggies.
You know what's amazing? Sasha Klein hasn't scored a point. Did score against the last game against Nebraska. He's got 0 here, and they're still up 11.
Kavalowskis is coming out for Davis. And a little bit of a lecture from Gillespie. Jones is still in the game with the fourth foul that he just picked up. Swatted out of bounds by Kirk.
Well, you're down 11. You're on the road. You're playing against one of the premier teams in the nation. You can't afford to take guys out of the lineup. Al McGuire used to do that all the time. Jimmy Valvano as well.
Sloan coming into the game now for the Aggies. Law will get a rest. Grimacing a little bit as he jogs off the floor.
I mentioned those names, Al McGuire, Jimmy Valvano, how we miss all those characters in basketball, and two really super New York guys.
Kansas's bench dig tonight outscoring the Aggies bench 24-6.
Well,
Collins most of that.
Yeah.
Arthur slips and turns it over. Jones, his second three of the night.
He's got scoring ability. He can go inside, outside. He's a perimeter shooter as well as an interior.
It's down to 8, 8:51 to go, and a timeout called by the Aggies.
Next on SportsCenter, it was an upset Saturday in college hoops. The number 3 Tar Heels got toppled, plus who Tigers chasing in Dubai, and will the weather determine who wins Super Bowl 41? We'll see you after the game.
Joseph Jones, the big man for the Aggies, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc here tonight. His 6th and 7th made threes of the season. As we take a look at tonight's KFC three-point bucket storyline. And A&M 6 for 13 tonight, shooting a very good percentage from beyond the arc. That has not been their problem. Their problem tonight, a little foul trouble up front, and the rebounding, as you say, Dick, has been a killer. And one of Kansas's biggest concerns coming into the game was, could their big guys play with the A&M big guys? Because Jones and Kavalowskis are so good. Jones sitting down with 4 fouls right now. I would have to say that Bill Self's got to be thrilled with the way his big guys have played against Billy Gillespie's big guys.
Oh, there shouldn't be any doubt they can play against any big guys in the nation after what they did with Florida. When we saw that matchup down there in Vegas against the likes of Noah and Horford and company.
Well, Bill Self's got 4 big bodies. Kahn and Arthur are in the game right now. Of course, he's also got Julian Wright and Darnell Jackson.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about Arthur and you talk about certainly Wright, they play so much bigger than their size because of their terrific athleticism.
Big time screen there by Arthur that nobody called. Switch now. Chalmers has a big guy on him in Pompey.
Look at those screens. Nice call with the screen and release from the basket.
A&M ball.
You got to communicate. When you see screens coming, you got to help your teammate out. Communication is so important.
Here come Jones and Kavalauskas back into the game after sitting down just for about 20 seconds of game time. Remember, Jones has 4, Kavalauskas has 3.
I really give him credit for taking a chance. He said, we're either going to win this game. I'm not taking a chance with those 2 guys sitting next to me. I think that's a good piece of coaching by Billy Gillespie.
Only regular season matchup between these two, with Kansas being a North Big 12 team and the South. Carter with another 3, and all of a sudden it's down to 5.
Well, there's that three-point shot we talk about, how it always changes the complexion of a game. Good timeout.
And it forces Bill Self to call a timeout as the Aggies, who were on the ropes just about a minute ago, are right back into it.
Well, the three-point shot coming back in. Hey, what a recruiting class they are coming in next year. 6'7", Victor Dubovitsky from out of Russia. He's at Chipola Junior College. 5'10", B.J. Holmes from Houston. And a 7-footer, maybe the best player in Texas from out of Houston, Andre Jordan.
The Andre Jordan 7-footer is Billy Gillespie's really starting to get some big-time recruits. Big Monday presented by Bud Light, a part of Rivalry Week presented by Cisco. We saw Syracuse, Connecticut at 7 Eastern, then Texas and Texas A&M at 9 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN HD. We will get another chance to see Player of the Year candidate Kevin Durant, who in a loss today to Kansas State had 32 more points. Look at what he did against Texas Tech a few days ago, 37 and 23. He is simply taking games over right now. Rick Barnes said before the season, he's the best player in the country, and it's hard to argue with that right now.
Well, I'll tell you, you can't argue with what he's doing. He's playing brilliantly. And remember this, that 37 and 23 in the history of the Big 12, nobody's ever been able to duplicate that. Bogan went one time, Mario Bogan rather, 37 and 20 in a triple overtime rather.
Can't wait to see Durant in person again on Monday night. Rush misses the jumper. A&M basketball.
You know what's amazing with that number as well? That was on a roll in a hostile environment. And he goes for 37 and 23 and plays all 40 minutes. I mean, he's been absolutely super. Watch out, Orlando Tucker.
Kavalauskas and Jones both back on the bench right now.
A lot of patience right now offensively. They know each possession getting bigger and bigger.
Foul against Kansas. Timeout on the floor. Collins picks up his 3rd. A&M ball when we come back. They're only down 5.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by DirecTV. There's good TV, there's better TV, and then there's DirecTV.
Welcome back to Fog Allen Fieldhouse, one of the greatest environments in all of college basketball. It's Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV with Dick Vitale, Aaron Andrews, and the Game Day Gang. I'm Dan Shulman. This has lived up to its billing. It's been a lot of fun here tonight.
Well, it really has been. You know, since their loss to Texas Tech, they have blown out the opposition that they've played. Obviously, it wasn't opposition like Texas A&M, but Kansas won by better than 20. Well, they're in a real fight right now. And the one thing I like about Texas A&M, I think the way that they were offensively rebounded. When you looked at Kansas, I thought they really could have put them away. But they have taken their biggest hit, and they're able to hang around only down 5.
Something that all Big 12 fans, players, coaches know, that A&M does not go away. Look at the Kansas backcourt, and again, Sharon Collins has been one of the stars here tonight. Just picked up his 3rd foul before the last break. He's still on the floor. He's got a game-high 15 points. Carter. 2 Aggies had a fingertip on that ball, but it's Julian Wright who comes up with it. Kansas pushing.
Wright's got such quickness.
Collins another 3.
He's big. He's the star of Lawrence. He's the BMOC, the big man on campus. He's been electrifying, Mr. Shulman.
The freshman averages 9. He's doubled that here tonight. Jones for 3. And the rebound down to right. Remember, Jones has made that shot twice here tonight.
Tough to keep Collins on that sideline. This kid's got a nose to score.
Physically strong enough to get into the lane and get to the rim, and a great outside shot as well. Kahn, his first points of the night.
First points in 2 games. First points in 2 games. Sasha Kahn with the little score on the inside.
And just like that, the lead's gone from 5 to 10 since that last time out.
Big possession right now. They got to quiet this crowd. They need a big score. AC Law loves the end of the game. This guy's game goes up big time in the last 5 minutes.
Sloan on the drive, right at right, and he cashes in. It's an 8-point game.
He's a combo guard. Are you going to 1 or 2 slot?
Great defense there by Jones, playing with 4 fouls.
Great deflection. Good ball, you man theory. Tavaruski should have had the ball.
Law misses the 3. And again, A&M unable to do much of anything on the glass here tonight. Getting out rebounded by 16 in this game.
Sasha Kahn may not score, but he does a great job setting screens.
Push on Josh Carter.
Take a look at Sharon Collins. There's the 3. Nothing but nylon. Look at the driving ability. Hang time. Explodes to the goal. Squares his body. Fields it. Get me the rock. Is his cry. Get me the rock, baby.
8-point lead in the ball for Kansas with 5:43 to go. And we mentioned it, Collins has become a bigger and bigger factor as conference play has gone along.
If you prorate his points per minute, they're unbelievable.
Yep. Averaging only 20 minutes per game, but that number is going up with the way that he's playing. Rebound comes down to Kirk.
Stay within their offense. They never panic. A lot of teams get behind, want to shoot the ball quickly. They still make touches, reverse the ball. Got to take advantage of the big guy inside.
Jones, the jumper, and it's back down to 6. Every time Kansas seems to be a knockout punch away, A&M comes right back.
You like the fight game, huh?
Yeah.
Talking about knockout punches, a little maybe Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns.
Hey, A&M's got a guy, Donald Sloan, who used to box.
So
that's right.
He's saying right now, Bill Self, when are we going to knock him out?
Let's take a look at the coaches poll. The top 10 in the ESPN USA Today coaches poll. North Carolina losing today to NC State, and Oregon was a loser today as well to USC.
You know, we were down there in Columbus last week, and Tom Izzo was telling us about his last 10 games, and right now 3 of them have gone by the wayside. 2 to Ohio State and 1 to Illinois.
1 week from tonight, we'll see number 1 Florida in Lexington to take on Kentucky.
Talk about another rival game. Wednesday, we got certainly rivalry games all over the country. Kansas State right here. North Carolina, Duke over in Durham, the best of the best. And then UCLA plays Southern Cal.
Michigan's playing Ohio State Tuesday night on ESPN.
They better start winning some games, Michigan.
Yep.
They need some wins.
Yep.
Lost at home to Iowa. Iowa today had a big win over Indiana.
The last couple of baskets have gone to the Aggies to turn a 10-point game into a 6-point game as we go under 5 minutes to play here in Lawrence. And now a steal by Law.
Great defensive play by Law. Look at it, has the presence of mind not to get up because that would be a walking violation. Stayed on the ground and made the pass.
He's going to work off the ball now a little bit as Kirk takes control.
Well, they want to get the ball. Law is really magnificent in the last 5 minutes. His numbers are unbelievable.
Captain Clutch for the Aggies the last couple of years.
You better be Captain Clutch now because you're under 5 on the clock.
Kirk. Long rebound out to Law. And it is Aggie basketball out of bounds off Rush.
They get 3 opportunities now. Something that Kansas was taking advantage of earlier in the game.
Pompey limping a little bit. He's going to stay in the game. Collins goes out for Kansas. Robinson's back in. So Jones on the bench right now for the Aggies with 4 fouls, maybe just until the under 4 timeout. Great ball fake. And another. Carter. Boy, great opportunities at this end by Texas A&M. 3 good looks at the basket.
See, now they got Robinson on the floor, get a little bit more stability. Want to take some time off that clock, but you don't want to get too cautious.
Jackson looking inside for Kahn. Surrounded. And a foul. It'll be Pompey.
Always becomes a little danger time to teams with that 5-6 point lead. They try to manage the clock and sometimes get too cautious.
3:52 to go. Can Kansas hang on and secure this win?
Y'all ready to play? Let's go. Big East. Big.
They say family that plays together stays together, and one that walks apart just falls apart. So together we stand, divided we fall, united we form Voltron and take on all. Let's move, yes. The birds left the nest. I'm all grown up, I gotta fly with the rest. Best of the best is what we strive to be. Yeah, a legacy is what we trying to leave. Yeah, let's say goodbye to the past. The future's here at last. The second coming, the new beginning. The truth is speaking. You should listen. So glorious, victorious. We take what we want. We born warriors.
Well, the man who invented the game, Dr. James Naismith, became Kansas's first head coach. Amazingly, the only coach they've ever had with a losing record. Fog Allen, one of the winningest coaches in the history of the sport. Larry Brown cut down the Nets in 1988 with Danny and the Miracles, and what a 15-year run it was for Roy Williams. This is as historic. There's as much tradition here as any place in America, and Bill Self is well aware of that and the expectations that come with it.
Well, he just really embraces it all and does a phenomenal job in his own right, just like Roy did a magnificent job. Averaged 27 wins a year. Bob Frederick, as you look here at the coaching resume.
Took Tulsa to the Elite Eight, Illinois to the Elite Eight, Kansas in his first year to the Elite Eight. Kahn at the line.
Bob Frederick, the athletic director, really made a great call when he was the AD to hire Roy Williams, because remember, he was a 10-year assistant. There were a lot of head coaches that wanted this job. It's one of the real plum jobs in college basketball.
Sometimes you just need a chance, and a guy like Billy Gillespie had to wait a while before he got a chance. And look what he's done with it at UTEP and A&M.
There are a lot of guys out there. All they need is that opportunity.
Law the pull-up. 4-point game.
He loves the last 5 minutes. He wants the ball in his hands. People say if he would play in the first 35 like the last 5, he'd be all world.
Closest this game has been since late in the first half. It's a 6-0 run for the Aggies.
You know, you're right, Dan. They've taken every hit possible, and yet they're right in the ball game.
Rush.
Really digging in defensively. And that's what keeps them in the game. They keep playing hard defensively, execute offensively, don't panic. This is a good Kansas team.
Chalmers, the high arcing 3 is long, and the rebound comes down to Kansas as Kavalauskas is called for the foul, his fourth.
That's the fourth on a big fella.
So both big guys for A&M have 4.
Hey, you talk about seeding possibilities right now. If I were giving you my top 4 seeds, I go Florida, UCLA, North Carolina, Wisconsin. Florida over in San Antonio. You put UCLA out in San Jose. You put certainly East Rutherford, New Jersey, North Carolina, and St. Louis. I'd put Wisconsin.
Well, you're turning bracketologist on me.
Well, you know, have a little fun right here. Let you think about it. Number 2 seeds, I go, and I know you're not going to agree with me, I go Duke out there in San Antonio. I go with Ohio State. I go with Pittsburgh and Kansas.
Kansas, certainly, if they could win this and continue on and maybe run the table in the Big 12, certainly would play themselves into consideration for a number 1 seed. But we got 5 weeks to go until Selection Sunday.
Lot. Yes, sir. This is going to flip-flop. Free throws right now. This becomes so magical, the clubs. If you convert on a free throw line, usually get to the winner's circle.
Robinson knocks him down. The lead is 6. Here comes Collins.
He was 13 for 14 on a free throw line against Texas A&M last year.
Great rotation going in the backcourt right now with 4 strong perimeter players and 3 of them on the floor at all time. And they're on their feet.
And they really don't get any deficiency when they go to their bench. patience. I love the way these kids execute. Even though they're behind, there's no panic. There's a double up. You got to come out of that double up. Finally, he looked to the right side. Great rotation down defensively by Chavez to get that ball. His dad on the coaching staff.
Right. Double team by the big guys. Kahn will reset.
Always doing a great job helping one another. See the little help right now? Now they got a little switch.
Got a mismatch.
They got a mismatch.
Yep.
Got a switch.
Knocked away by Jones. Boy, he is playing hard considering all the foul trouble he's had here tonight.
And he looks like he's limping a little bit as well.
We're at Allen Fieldhouse, Saturday primetime, presented by DirecTV with Dick Vitale and Aaron Andrews. I'm Dan Shulman. A battle for first place in the Big 12. Kansas dominating on the glass, turning those rebounds into second chance points, and leading by 6, less than 2 minutes to go with SportsCenter next here on ESPN.
There's a must possession right here. Must possession.
And he got it. AC Law again.
AC Law in the last 5 minutes, my friends. Use the right hand in the lane. Got an old-fashioned three-point opportunity. There he is. Splits the defense. Protects the basketball. What a clutch player. As good or as clutch as there is in America.
How about this, Dick? In a win over Oklahoma last weekend, a close game. Law scored 12 of their last 13. We mentioned the shot, which is what it's known as down in College Station, that beat Texas last March. 7 straight points late in a recent win over Baylor. 10 straight points in their first round win over Syracuse last year late in the game. He does it time and time again.
And that's really blew my mind when I saw all those numbers and stats in the last 5 minutes. Oh, they're going to win a lot of games this year at College Station.
About 2 years ago, these two teams met in this building in the conference opener for both schools, and it was the first time that Bill Self opposed Billy Gillespie. They are best friends, Gillespie having worked on Self's staff at both Tulsa and Illinois. Antoine Ryder with a jumper, less than a minute to play, tied it at 58, but then Alex Galindo, who later transferred out of the program, hit a tie-breaking three-pointer, and the Jayhawks went on to win 65-60. There are no more easy games against Texas A&M.
They've also done a great job upgrading their facility. New scoreboard they put in. They're also going to have a groundbreaking ceremony. They actually held $21 million. To look here.
Here's what's at stake tonight with Texas losing earlier today to Kansas State. Tonight's winner takes over top spot all by themselves in the Big 12.
Spending $21 million on a brand new practice facility. The commitment is there, my friends.
Can't wait to get down there for the Monday night game against Kevin Durant and the Longhorns, 9 p.m. here on ESPN.
Should be special. Talk about a big rivalry. Kicks off rivalry week for us. On Wednesday, North Carolina, Duke. And don't forget about the women on Thursday night. North Carolina and Duke, both unblemished, undefeated.
Kansas ball with 1:38 to go and a 3-point lead.
Oh, they got a bump down right here. They missed it. He perfectly tackled Sasha Khan.
Pompey and Khan getting all tangled up. Play continues, and they're going at it again.
Oh, there's a lot of bumping and grinding up there.
The Kansas bench wants an intentional foul called on Pompey, but they're not going to get it. And they're saying, come on, Pompey's just fouling Khan to put him on the line.
Exactly.
Khan on the season is a 53% free throw shooter. The art of committing a foul that is intentional without getting called for the intentional.
Exactly. And the art of coaching to know that you want to put the right guy on a free throw line. That's part of the coaching expertise on that sideline.
1-1 for Khan.
And watch him just surprise everybody and knock them both down.
Nope. Well, the strategy paid off big time for A&M.
That was Jimmy Valvano at his best when he won that national title in '83.
That's why Pompey was in the game. Now he's gone out. Kavalauskas has come in.
Get the ball to AC Law. Good things happen when this guy's got the rock. He wants to clear out. He's going to get the screen. He's going to go opposite the screen. He's going to go there. He's going to use the screen. They jump out on him.
Jones for 3. The putback by Kavalauskas and 1.
What a terrific offensive rebound. That's been the story of Kansas. AK on the glass. This club's got a lot of heart. They got a lot of heart. There's the jump shots like a brick, but there's Kavalauskas using the left hand. What heart they have. Win or lose, I mean, most clubs would have folded the tent against the emotion, the passion, the intensity of Kansas.
They play with a great toughness. They play with a chip on their shoulder. They're not intimidated by this environment, and they were a free throw away from tying this game with a minute to go when Kansas, for a while, held a double-digit lead midway through the second half.
You know, in 48 hours, they're getting all kinds of national TV exposure. They're trying to get their program around the nation. People will be aware and alerted.
They're 18-3, 6-1 in the league, ranked 8th in the country. They were number 6 earlier this year, the highest ranking in a program history. And they brought a few folks with them from College Station.
Their 3 losses to LSU, UCLA, Texas Tech. They really don't have a statement victory in terms of major. They got a win over Kansas State, a win over Oklahoma State.
Both at home. Let's check in quickly with Aaron.
And with all of Texas A&M's success, guys, Billy Gillespie has turned into quite of a superstar or a rock star in College Station. His radio shows are packed. People want his autograph. He is turning it around there.
They want his autograph, Aaron. He's also the most eligible bachelor in College Station. He's the most eligible bachelor.
Dick, we've got our first tie since 30-30 late in the first half.
Remember, Kansas has won 11 in a row at home after losing to Oral Roberts. They have a 31 consecutive win streak against the Southern Division.
Right on the backdoor feed from Robinson. Kansas leads by 2.
2 veterans step up. Robinson to right. Nice little tandem right there for the deuce. 31 in a row against the South. Kansas at home. Nice little play right to the basket. Very strong. He's got such terrific ability. You talk about a kid with multi-talented skills.
A hard-fought battle here tonight in Lawrence. A&M has never defeated Kansas. Kansas has beaten Florida and Oklahoma State back when the Cowboys were in the top 10, 2-0 against top 10 teams, and Kansas 31-0 at home against teams from the so-called South Division, the 4 Texas teams and the 2 Oklahoma teams in the Big 12. From what you've seen tonight, are both of these teams contenders to get to Atlanta?
Oh, I think there's no doubt you got to put them right in the mix. I think when you take Texas A&M and you put them on a neutral floor, they're going to be so tough to beat. I would not want to play them. Kansas, we know how good they can be. We saw them on a neutral against Florida. Absolutely, you put them in there as one of the dozen teams that will have, in my mind, a chance to win it all.
A&M with the ball, A&M with the arrow. Both teams with a timeout remaining, both teams over the limit.
Hey, LSU went to the Final Four last year and had to use a dramatic shot to beat this team.
Long can't turn the corner. And it'll stay with the Aggies, 18 to shoot.
Remember, Carter can shoot the 3. He's one of the best in America.
Even Jones has knocked down a couple of 3s tonight for the Aggies. The ball into the hands of A.C. Law. He'll loft a 3.
Oh, is he living up to his reputation? Oh, Mr. Clutch.
A&M on top. Kansas timeout. 20 seconds to go. What a comeback by Law and the Aggies.
And what about Law? What about Law? Is he living up to all the numbers?
Phenomenal. We told you time and time again how many games he has taken over late, and tonight's another one.
He wants the ball late. His game just goes up to another level. Forget about knuckleball. It doesn't matter. It is down. I don't care if it's a Hoyt Wilhelm, a Roger Clemens. The bottom line is it's coming out of that hole. It's coming out of that net.
Well, rivalry week is coming your way. Monday night, we've got A&M hosting Texas, which is a terrific rivalry. You've got Duke and Carolina with Mike Patrick on Wednesday. Duke and Carolina women on Thursday. Arizona, Oregon. Kansas, Missouri is always a terrific rivalry, regardless of what the record's saying. That a week from tonight, we'll all be in Lexington for Florida and Kentucky.
I was telling a bunch of writers today. They said, you're acting like a kid when they saw me in a crowd with all the students. I said, are you serious? Think about it. I'm here today. Texas and Texas A&M on Monday, Duke and Carolina, Kentucky and Florida, and you're not going to get excited?
A&M with a lead, down by 10, 11, 12 at various points of the second half. These tough kids from College Station are on top with 20 seconds to go.
The most dangerous play right now will be the offensive rebound. So many times you concentrate and play tough on the basketball late, and then it's the missed shot that's converted for a score.
Collins is on the floor right now for Bill Self.
Remember, he has
Chalmers is the guard. There's 6 players standing on the floor right now for Kansas. Somebody's got to get off the floor. There are 6 Jayhawks on the floor.
Somebody got to get it. Yeah, they took him out.
And Jackson is going to be the guy who comes out. Boy, that was something.
Wow. Got a little nervous there, the coaching staff. Well, you're pretty good at math, counting those players. Hey, right now you got to watch dribble penetration and the dump off. And the guys that can penetrate, certainly Chalmers and Collins. And then it's the offensive rebound. Watch the offensive rebound.
Robinson looking inside, picked up his dribble, finds Chalmers.
There's the penetration.
The floater is short. A&M has it. 5 seconds to go.
Wow. Will they be celebrating in College Station?
AC Law is going to go to the line. A 77% free throw shooter. They know they're that close, but they know they haven't accomplished it yet. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Law, who has made big shot after big shot down the stretch.
And it could be the first win by a team from the Southern Division on the road here in Rock Chalk Jayhawk land. Still plenty of time on that clock, Dan.
1-and-1. So calm at the line. The guy who almost transferred out of the program when Billy Gillespie took over. They were butting heads. They finally saw eye to eye, and it's been the biggest reason why this program's moved into the top 10.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If he converts this right now, I would not give Kansas the look for a 3. I would not give him a look for 3. I would put full court pressure, and I would foul and not let him shoot the 3.
Kansas is out of timeouts. That's A&M's last timeout. AC Law, who by his standards had a relatively quiet first half, simply took over the game here in the second half, Dick.
Well, that's been really the story of his senior year. He's been really a special player late in the game, as good as there is in America. He's been Mr. Clutch. He's been a PTP. He's been super sensational. See, right now, Dan, what I would do is pressure so they can't bring the ball up quickly, take some time off the clock, and then I would not allow him to shoot the 3. You certainly don't want to foul him while he's shooting the 3. I'm talking about as he's advancing the basketball.
If you're Kansas, there are a number of options from beyond the arc. Sharon Collins, 44%. Brandon Rush, 41%. Mario Chalmers, 38%, but will any of them be able to get a good look?
Too many things have to happen to beat you if he goes. People say, well, they're afraid about the missed free throw and the tip in. There's so many things would have to happen to beat you in that sequence. I think the three-point shot with guys like they got that can shoot is too high percentage for shot.
It is, or it was 62-52 for Kansas. A&M is on a 17-4 run to take a 3-point lead, trying to beat the Jayhawks for the first time in Aggie history, and trying to take over sole possession of first place in the Big 12.
Couldn't knock him out when they had him on the ropes. Every time it looked like they were going to be able to knock him out, they came back with a big play.
See, now you like that boxing analogy too, huh?
Yes, sir.
This team, the Aggies, take a punch as well as anybody in America. Let's see if Kansas has one last answer.
See, I put some pressure on the ball. I'd get right up on the baseline. I would not even let him get a look from the baseline. See, he's letting him get a look.
Into the hands of Collins.
I would pressure that ball.
The handoff to Chalmers. And A&M wins here in Lawrence. What a win for the Aggie program, beating Kansas here at the Fog, 69-66 as the Aggies erupt in celebration out at midcourt. Boy, you got to hand it to them. They earned this one, Dick.
Oh, I said earlier, what heart and guts they demonstrated, whether win or lose. You could see the incredible, unbelievable poise they had. They never panicked when they fell behind. I thought that was the key. So many teams you see, they fall behind against a quality opponent, and they try to rush things. See, I would never let them shoot this.
They looked like they got the play they wanted. Collins with the handoff to Chalmers. The three didn't go. 3-point win for the Aggies. Aaron Andrews standing by with a winning coach.
First win in Aggies history over Kansas. What does this effort mean to your program tonight?
It means everything because they're such a good team. It's a team that's capable of winning a national championship, and they really whipped us most of the game. We just hung in there, made some shots, and really performed well down the stretch when he had to.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but this man is shaking right now, Dan. He's so excited.
All right, Aaron, there are a whole bunch of folks down in College Station equally excited, and we're going to see them all on Monday night.
We'll see him on Monday night. His stock as the most eligible bachelor just went up, up, and up.
A dejected crowd here at the Fog. A huge win for Billy Gillespie and the Aggies as they beat Kansas 69-66. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Dick Vitale and Aaron Andrews, I'm Dan Shulman saying so long from Lawrence. Thank you very much for watching tonight. Sports Center is next here on ESPN.